Idea if anyone can hear me or if anything's working. In fact, let's turn off that and let's do that. Hopefully you guys can hear me, or hopefully you can't, depends on your take. I just thought I'd try and do a little test stream and paint up something with these guys that I've been trying to make a video for over a month now. My take on Slapshot. So I've got like 17 different models I've painted up with various different methods. So we're going to chuck some speed paint on them over the next few nights and see how we get on. I'm already having issues with my camera timing out. So every 10 minutes or so I just have to disconnect it and reconnect it, which is crap, but I'll try and work on that. I haven't decided yet if I'm just going to paint one model up at a time or hit them all up at the same time. We'll see how we get on with the first couple, I think. Just get a few colours out. Using the Speed Paint 1.0 version, I haven't got the 2.0 yet. I've heard they're pretty nice, there's some nice metallics in there, so hopefully in a couple of months I'll be able to pick up a set of that. I could do with a bit of background, so I'm just going to put this on. If I see anyone actually watching, then I'll mute it off. Please feel free to comment. The audio is okay, the background noise is probably a bit loud. Video, I need to work on what I'm going to use. Figure out this microphone and camera setup. Saw tonight that eventually Leviathan sold out on the GW website. Let me know if you got a copy. I think I've managed to pick up a copy from a third party. Nice. But I think it didn't sell out quite as quick as I was expecting. So the idea behind this little painter project was to figure out how I could quickly get my GC coals painted. Because of trying to paint them, they're pretty complicated models. There's a lot of detail, and you need a lot of them. So I wanted to try and figure out a slapshot method, and having watched quite a lot of videos. I thought I'd just try a lot more at once and see how I got on. See if I can make one work. I'll try and do some close-ups every now and then, but this hive run up purple. So if anyone has got experience with using a Nikon digital SLR, it's a D5300 as a webcam via the USB interface, and timing out, please let me know. Because otherwise I'm forever going to be going around this loop, which is pretty sucky. Internet connection at home because I run off 5G system. Let's see if I can complain about that. Hopefully not, hopefully it's new. So figure number 1, let's have a look. Yeah, black base, zenithal grey and then white driver. So pretty standard slapshot technique. Turns out like that. Definitely need to stream setup probably isn't particularly optimal. I've got a little screen in front of me that I keep looking up at with the stream software running. My main control PC is on the other side of the room. Turn off that background for the minute because it's quite distracting now. Actually, I need to just turn the volume right down on it. So I've used the Holy White for the main armor panels, and I'm just going in with Gravelord Grey that I tend to use for the metallics. So I'm just using it on these pipes to give them a bit more definition. We'll stick a bit around the lamp as well, and then we'll bang a little bit of yellow in that later. I might end up using that grey for quite a lot of this actually. I like it for metallics, it's fun, it works on weapons, but yeah, this is not quite popping as much as I'd like. Let's see if I can just put a bit more on the orange just to make that come up a bit. I mean, it's not terrible, but would I be happy to table it? Yeah, probably. Especially in they're generally in blobs of 10 anyway, so it's not going to show that much. What I might do is bust out that pink and see if I can put a bit of this purple alchemy they call it, but yeah, it's pink. See if I can put a bit across the purple and make that come out a bit better. Right. I might start using a normal palette instead of a wet palette for this speed paint because it tends not to dry quite as quick, and at the minute my palette is an absolute runny mess. I'm not particularly efficient with my palette normally anyway. Oh, that's bright. Maybe on the next model I'll try putting a bit of the pink on first actually, and then turning it back with a purple after. It's a bit more poppy though. Just going to wash in a bit more of the black on the trousers because it's quite light in places. I mean, let's see if we can get this in focus. It's not too bad. Do some more of the details around the back, but right. Let's just have a quick look at some settings and see if we can get on Discord. That'll be white. Now Discord will be happy. Yes. Escape. So I am in my Discord now. Sorry, yeah, I am in my Discord now. If anyone is there to actually join, there's nothing in the chats, which is probably good. Not really expecting anything since this was done on a bit of a whim. Let's move that chat window across. That's better. So, things look alright on my side. If there is anyone there, even if you've just popped on to laugh at me, please let me know if you can hear me okay. If it looks okay. Oh, my camera's died again, excuse me. There, that's back, sorry. So I've got my camera hooked up to mains through one of the battery adapters. And I did have a cheap video input via HDMI, but even then it times out, it powers down. Oh, that's a mess. And I can't figure out how to stop it. Excuse me while I just mop up this water. Yeah, so the camera goes into standby all the time on its own. It's super annoying, even with the just running off the HDMI. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do about that if I'm going to carry on giving this streaming a go, really. Gold, well, yellow, but this Zealot yellow, quite like that as a bit of a non-metallic metal gold when it's repainting. Seems to work quite well. Just try and pick up on a couple of details. I suppose there's much point if I am going for a speed paint of trying to push too many details, but let's get a couple more colours on the palette just for some of these details that I'm talking about. Leather, right, excuse me, let's do some mixing. There we go. So I've got, did I say 17 different takes on Slap Chop on the table? You can see them just in the background on that painting view. All with various Slap Chop prep methods. So your typical black base zenithals, to coloured zenithals, coloured bases, inks, dip washes. I'm really just trying to figure out what's quick and what works. So off the bat, I think I've got one of my favourites or potentials. I think it's number 6. Yeah, it looks like it. So this is a grey base and it's dip washed. So the dip wash is a recipe based on Midwinter Minis recipe. So I want to see how that goes because that seems to have worked quite well. I think I use a little bit more flow aid than Guy does from Midwinter in my dip wash, but that really helps on this sort of thing. So I can prime it grey, dunk it in the wash, let it dry and paint it. and that's potentially a very speedy, quick method of getting some paint on some minis. So you know what, this guy for a first off isn't bad, and actually I will probably let's get some orange on that cloak in the front, but I'll probably leave him there because the whole point is that this shouldn't take long, and if I'm spending more than 2 minutes on a model I'm going to be unhappy. So let's just put a bit of colour there. And let him dry, and we'll come back to that later on. Right, so number 2. Let's have a quick look what number 2 was. Number 2 is a black base, a grey overbrush, and a white dry brush. So I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know what overbrushing is. So it's kind of like dry brushing. From how I understand it, dry brushing with a bit more moisture and paint on your brush, so you're just putting a bit more paint down, and then a standard white dry brush. So let's get some of this orange on the cloak. So I'm painting these guys up as rusted claw, so nice bright-ish at least materials, so nice bright orange material, and then go from there. And my phone is buzzing. Let's find out what that is in a second. Okay, so I think I might get cut short in a minute. We'll find out. So this one is really dark everywhere else, so it's going to take a couple of layers of this orange potentially to get the... Oh, that's going on better. So I've not used speed paint a huge amount, so I think I just need to get used to putting a bit more on. Right, I think I'll have to stop the stream there for the minute. Hopefully I'll be back in a little while, but we'll see. If you have watched, thank you, and I'll try and continue this a bit more in the future.